Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. Today's guest is an indie pop singer, songwriter, and producer based out of Los Angeles, California. She's great friends with the previous On That Note guest, McCall, and she's got a new EP out right now called Polished, which you should all go check out. It's seriously some amazing pop music. Please welcome Skofee.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Sweet. Well, Skofee, thank you for joining me for an episode of On That Note. I really appreciate you coming on. You've got a new EP, your debut EP actually, called Polished, released September 18th. I listened to it and I was floored. I loved it. I love your lyrics. I love the production of everything. How does it feel to have your debut EP out?
Well, thank you for listening, first of all. And it feels amazing. A lot of the songs on that EP I've been sitting on for a really long time. Um, so yeah, finally having them out in a cohesive package feels really good. Um, and I think a lot of people feel this way when they release stuff, but like, I feel like I'm mentally just in a different place than when I wrote a lot of those songs, so it feels good to have them out, honestly, just so I can like work on new stuff, and that moment in time is like solidified and I can go forward and work on new stuff.
What was the experience like going back to something that you've written a long time ago in a different headspace and having to like record it, having had time to like move on from whatever this is, whatever's going on in the song?
I think honestly it wasn't Crab Apple's probably the only song that I actually like. It was in demo land, made it at like 3 a.m., forgot about it, and then revisited it like a year and a half later. But the rest of them, it was just like um, kind of a rolling,
Mm,
just working on them for a really long time. And I wanted like my first release to, I wanted to be able to really stand behind, obviously, my first release. So, um, yeah, I'm kind of a perfectionist. So it took me a while, but I'm really, really happy with it and glad that it's in the world.
yeah, me too. I know a lot of people who will say like I'm a perfectionist, and they'll use it as a reason to like not put something out. But since you say you're a perfectionist and you put it out, what were some of the barriers that you got over to like were there any mental barriers of like just being worried people aren't going to listen to it, or things you had to get over?
Well, I think it just comes to a point where you're like, okay, I have to put this out at some point or I'm just going to work on it forever, you know? So I think, and I know a lot of different artists can relate to that, but I think, um, yeah, I just was like, this form of every song is as polished, no pun intended, as it's going to get. So, um, yeah, I think at some point you could always work more on a song or make more edits. But yeah, I think I just got to a point where I just felt like it was where I wanted it to be. Um, yeah,
How did most of these songs start off? Like, do you start with guitar? Do you start with lyrics?
it depends. I think usually I'll do a chord progression and just start sort of humming over it. Um, and lyrics will come after I have a melody I kind of like, but definitely depends. Like I have so hundreds of notes on my phone of just like thoughts um, that I've written down, and sometimes a song will start that way. Um, but yeah, I had some co-writers on the EP. So obviously, when you write with someone else, um, the process will change a little bit. But I don't really have like a set. I have to do things this way in order for them to feel right. Um, yeah, I would say usually like chords and melody come first for me.
It's good to not have a select way of doing things, like going out of your way to try something new and see if that inspires something else.
Yeah, definitely agree.
You mentioned you had a couple co-writers. One of them is McCall, right? She
Yes.
she was on the show. I just released her episode, and she's awesome. I think she's on some other shit with her music, and that's so cool. You guys work together, and now that I know that about Bleach, I was like, oh, I do hear it. So, what was that experience like collaborating with her?
I mean, McCall's one of my best friends. She's so talented, and she's taught me a lot about songwriting. Um, and yeah, so I was just showing her the song, and I was like, here's what I have. Do you have any ideas? I'm kind of stuck on the second verse, and she just like whipped it out. And like, I mean, she's like a marathon songwriter. She's so fast, and the quality is so amazing. So, um, yeah, I felt like she really understood what I was trying to say with that song. And she helped me edit a couple other parts of it and the form a little bit. And I just really respect her opinion on what a song needs. And she's also really good at cutting things down, which is good for me because it's hard for me to like part with certain sections of a song. Um, when really cutting it out makes the whole song better. So yeah, working with her is always wonderful. And we also have a girl group in the works.
Ooh, okay. What's it called?
Um, it's called Duchess,
All right.
and yeah, that'll come later. We're
Still
still
working it
working
out.
on it. Yeah, but I point is I love working with McCall. She's great.
That's very exciting. Is it just you two?
And Zoe Benson. Her
Okay.
artist name is Zoe Alex.
Okay,
Um,
cool. I'll check her out.
but yeah, that is in the very early stages right now.
That's awesome. You have to keep me updated with that. And you mentioned just a second ago um, that she really taught you like what a song needs. So, what do you think a song needs now, and what is considered excess to you?
I mean, just in terms of form, I feel like I'm always inclined to. Um, I think it's good to leave a listener wanting more a little bit so that they'll listen again to your song. Um, there's nothing worse than like loving a song and just having one too many choruses or an outro that's like crazy long. I don't know. It all depends on obviously the specific song and what it needs, but I do think it's good um, to be smart about if you have a good hook or line, being sparing with it. Yeah.
hmm You feel like it can be very tempting to like throw a really sick hook at somebody like over and over and over again because you think like they need to hear it. It's the best part of the song. Uh, but sometimes stripping away a lot of things is the best way to like get to the bare root of what the song is about and let the emotion of it carry the audience instead of like telling them what's going on. It's like let them experience it for themselves.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I know whenever I come up with like, you know, a chorus that I'm really proud of, I'm like, I have to put it in at least 3 times. And that's just not the case every time, at least. So,
Um, oh damn, I was just oh yeah. So your lyrics, I feel like, are a great sense of like it really ties into what we were just talking about letting the audience member uh, come back to it and learn new things about the story you're telling the more they listen to it. Because I've listened to it probably 10 times before this. And each time I listened to it, the songs became clearer, and like the story was told from front to back. Uh, but it didn't come immediately.
Mm.
So how do you lean into the vulnerability of your lyrics, because you are being very vulnerable, but you're also not like you're self-deprecative. It's kind of funny, like there's a lot of lines that are pretty funny in there, but um, how do you allow yourself to like reach into the depths of your soul and pull that out and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I like that some of it struck you as funny because that's something that I always try to put in my music is you know, I don't know, I like to take things with a grain of salt. And I know that a lot of my lyrics can be pretty dark, um, which for some reason that's just what always comes out when I'm writing. But I think part of my personality that maybe doesn't come across as much in my music sometimes is my sense of humor. So I'm glad that you got that from it because I think it's important in all situations to try to see the lighter side. Um, and also, I do think, like you said, like bearing your soul. I think it's more digestible as a listener if there's some comic relief of sorts or some lines that just like allow you to breathe. Because if a song is just all really intense, here is my soul on a platter. Um, Songs like that do need a bit of balance, whether that's sonically or lyrically.
It's
I mean, you have to always just write about what you know, of course, but I'm trying to challenge myself to um, write some songs with different, a greater variety of feeling behind them,
mm-hmm.
instead of just all sad. But that is the way that I lean, so I'm also okay with that.
Was there an initial breakthrough for you when you felt like you found your voice? Like, was there a song where you were like, oh shit, like, I feel like now I know I can go this route?
At least for me, it's like a constant discovery of what I want my sound to be, but definitely, I think I think honestly I was nervous with the EP that it wouldn't be cohesive because I wrote a shit ton of songs and then I picked the ones that I felt were the most personal. I was the proudest of all of that. And I was nervous that they wouldn't go with each other or wouldn't make sense as a package. But I think I've just found that I should just write what I want, and then that will be my sound, whatever that ends up being. Um, but definitely some elements along the way that I found as like essential to my sound are like tons of vocal stacks, like very lush soundscapes. I love vocoder. Um, yeah, just like a general. If I had to put a label on it, it would probably just be alt pop. But I'm open to wherever it goes in the future too. I think I'd love to do a super stripped EP at some point. Yeah, but as of now, I really like the full sound.
It's gonna be really cool to see what your upcoming supergroup comes up with.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We have some demos, but we definitely have to refine what we're going for exactly. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun because all of our solo projects are a little more serious, I'd say.
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is gonna be a little bit more fun.
Yeah, sort of just like unapologetic pop music.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. That's going to take us over to the last five, where I'm just going to ask you five quick questions and then we'll be done.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. We kind of talked about it at the beginning, but number one, lyrics or beat first?
I'll say beat. I'll say beat.
Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a time where the lyrics came first? Because Crab Apple almost sounds like more of like a poem that music came along with it. I don't know if that's the case.
Um, the lyrics came second for that one also. But yeah, I get why you would say that for sure. It has happened definitely where lyrics come first, but I feel like I usually start writing lyrics as soon as I have the feel of the beat. So I'll say beat.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of the same way for sure. All right, number 2. What's on your musical rotation right now?
So much on gel.
Angel.
She's a French artist. She just released a song with Dua Lipa.
Oh, cool.
Um, but I'm obsessed with her. She's so great. Remy Wolf.
Remy Wolf is great. She's been mentioned a lot on this show. I need to
I
get her on.
mean, she's so great. Chloe and Halle, I've been listening to. Yeah, I literally just throw on Angel when I'm in the car now. So I'll say.
Angel. Is it just spelled like
I
angel?
think that's how you say it. It's
Okay.
Angel with an E at the end. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That would make sense to me. Okay, number 3. What is a perfect album front to back?
Channel Orange.
Yo, we always love Frank Ocean on this show. I love that album. I love Frank Ocean, but I think I would pick Blonde over Channel
Mm,
Orange if I had to pick.
yeah, it's hard for me because the nostalgic value of Channel Orange is just like, I don't know how I could not choose that, but Blonde is also great.
I don't know one person who likes those albums that doesn't associate it with like a key part of their life. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
totally.
It's so
Totally.
interesting how he like hit that for everyone. Like it's amazing that it's like the soundtrack to people's lives when that came out, and I talked to people about it.
I know. Yeah, everybody does feel the same about it. It's interesting.
He's just, he's the man. I love Frank. Hopefully he's
Absolutely.
putting out something soon. It's been way too long.
I know. Fingers crossed.
All right, number 4. Who's your dream artist or producer to work with?
I would love to work with Muna, like as a group. That would be so sick.
That's
Like,
what McCall said.
oh, really?
Yeah,
That would make
I
sense.
checked him out after she said it. I was like, he's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Shoot, now I feel like I have to say something different than McCall. Let's see.
You're all good. I thought of one. I think you should work with Maddie
Oh,
Healy from the
uh,
1975.
yeah,
You guys would
yeah.
definitely hit it off. Like his stuff with the Japanese house, like I feel like you guys would be a great fit.
Oh my God, I love the Japanese house so much. Yeah, if Maddie Healy comes into my inbox, I will
He's
be
hitting the
responding.
DMs. Yeah.
I will be responding to that one. Yeah.
Truman Black sliding in there. He's the man. I got to see the 1975 open for the Neighborhood in like 2013 when nobody knew who the 1975 were.
Damn.
Yeah, Chocolate was like the only song that they had out.
Yeah.
It was insane. Yeah, they were great. But yeah, do you have anybody else that you would want to work with?
I mean, so many. I'll say Amber Mark. I love her music so much. Should check her out if you haven't heard of her.
Yeah, I don't know her. What kind of stuff is it?
Um, it's it's like pop with definitely an R&B spin. It's super unique. You should check it out. I'm not sure how she would classify.
Cool. Amber Mark. Yeah, I'll check her out for sure. All right, this is the last question, and then we'll get you out of here.
Okay.
Number 5. What's your favorite decade of music?
I'll say that is so hard.
I
What's your
know.
answer?
I usually go between 60s or 2010s.
I think I was gonna say 2010s, but I feel like I didn't
Most
know if
people
that was.
forget that you can say that.
I
So that when
know.
I'm like 2010s, they're like, "Oh, yeah, for sure, 2010s." But
I'll say
that's definitely some bias just cuz we grew up, I feel like that's
Yeah.
when people our age discovered music. Like if they're
Yeah,
playing music now, that's like when they really got way into it.
totally.
But if we don't say 2010s, what would you say?
I'll say 80s.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite 80s artist or some of them?
Oh God. You know, I listen actually a lot to Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's also on my car rotation right now.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I've been referencing her actually when I'm songwriting recently. I saw her in concert um
Whoa.
in 2015. Um, and she's just so fucking great.
She's an icon.
Yeah. I just like the general like synth poppy sound. So
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all through the 80s.
Yeah, totally.
Nice. Well, that ends our time here on that note. Skofee, thank you for joining me, talking about your process. Everybody needs to go check out your EP Polished out on Spotify, on Apple Music, all that good stuff. And I really appreciate you talking with me. I'm glad we made this session with pretty minimal construction work going on with the renovations going on. But yeah, thank you again for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm glad we had minimal noise pollution. I think it worked out.
Yeah, we made it through. All right. Well, I will talk to you later, and thank you again.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.